Ginobili gets the opening tip, sidesteps, and just like that, 5 seconds in, he scores. Parker flips it up and in. Oh, pretty move from Tony Parker. And the lead back to 20. Ginobili. That's a three. Manu Ginobili once again from downtown. Duncan flips it up and gets the roll. Why aren't more people talking about them as one of the real favorites to win the title?
Well, that 30-point loss at the hands of the Spurs, Miami's worst defeat of the season. You know they were thinking revenge when they got together on Monday night, were the Heat. Welcome to Game Time. Alongside 3D Dennis Scott and Brent Barry, I'm Vince Cellini. Yes, they meet again, and the Heat would exact their revenge.
You think they were thinking about it for 10 days, Vince? I think you're right.
Yeah, absolutely. That didn't sit well. In South Florida, this was to get things back to even between the Spurs and the Heat. Noche Latina night presented by a new right guard body wash. Western Conference Player of the Week, Tony Parker. Eastern Conference Player of the Week, Dwayne Wade, getting together on the same floor. Antonio McDyess, Tim Duncan, little short hook.
A little interior passing by the big fellas.
San Antonio up by 5. Then Ginobili rebounds and finds Tony Parker laying it up and in. 14-9 San Antonio out in front. Later in the first, D. Wade backing downhill.
It shouldn't leave Hill down there by himself like that, Brent.
Usually after 2 dribbles, somebody should come, but on that particular play, nobody arrived.
Then how do you like this, Brent?
Well, going a la Kobe. Kobe was working on his left hand during the season last year. LeBron says, I could use that too.
Miami up by 4 off the pick and roll. LeBron to Chris Bosh, who had a monster night scoring-wise.
Tough night, very focused tonight.
Heat in transition, Wade missing, Bosh putting it back
That's
up.
just good activity right there. Your big man running the floor, sometimes you get rewarded.
Then Tony Parker drives and is blocked by Dwayne Wade.
Get that out of here. Don't bring it back without asking.
That's a big-time rejection. Then Manu Ginobili weaving his way to the basket, snaking his way in, and the foul.
One of the best in the game, Vince, in the trees.
Still making the free throw. It's Miami up by 10. Chris Bosh, short jumper. 49-39, Miami at the break. Third quarter, Tim Duncan goes up, and we saw the earlier block.
Well, this one he showed his hang time, and the other night he had 5 blocks in 44 seconds, picking up being a fly swatter tonight.
That's incredible. Dwayne Wade, weak side, coming over and anticipating that. And what a night for Chris Bosh. I mean, really stepping up. Miami did a great job of taking advantage of the Spurs fours, going at McDyess and going at Matt Bonner tonight. Big production from Chris Bosh and a great pass here by Mike Miller. Give it to Dwayne Wade.
And you can see that Miami is now starting to pull away. They're getting momentum, and there's nothing the Spurs can do about it. Bosh blocking Blair, and leads to a break.
And their offense, solid half-court defense, and let those legs get out and run.
Get them in transition, it's just a nightmare. You have these guys coming at you, and nobody stops LeBron James, freight train.
Well, we've seen Wade blocking shots. Now Wade with a steal.
Is it my
that
turn?
Follows it. Yeah.
Is it my turn? I gave you a dunk. My turn to get one.
Beat us by 30, will you? Got something for you in this one. 110-80, the final numbers. The Heat and the Spurs, their worst loss of the season. So turnabout is fair play. The big 3 ran wild. Bosh had 30 and 12 rebounds. Wade, 29, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. LeBron, 21, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. And the Heat now 2 back of Boston and Chicago in the East. Afterward, Heather Cox spoke with 2 of the big 3.
Dwayne, 10 days ago, you guys lose by 30 points to the Spurs. Tonight, beat them by about the same token. What was the difference?
Well, the difference was getting a win versus the Lakers. You know, when you get that win, you get your confidence back. And we saw the things that worked for us, and it was defensively. And we stuck together through the whole time. So we're just trying to continue to keep going.
The media, especially, it seemed, over that 5-game stretch, the sky was falling. Then suddenly 3 games you guys win. How has perspective changed?
I mean, that's the way it is, you know, especially in sports. You know, when you're winning, everything is good. When you're losing, everything is bad. So you try to stay even keel, never get too high, never get too low.
Dwayne, congratulations on the win. LeBron, what a defensive performance tonight. Your coach, Eric Spoelstra, talked about recommitting to your defensive identity. How did you do that tonight?
That's what it's about. In order for us to win games, we know we have to defend every night, and that's going to give us the best possible chance to win. And, you know, it was great for us to come out against a very explosive offensive team and hold them under their averages.
With 1 month remaining to the regular season, what are your team goals to get to where you want to be when the playoffs start?
We can't waste the opportunity to get better. You know, we're behind San Antonio, we're behind Boston, we're behind the Lakers and a lot of teams as far as chemistry on the court, you know, because they played a lot more games than us. So we can't waste an opportunity, a practice, a shoot around, a quarter. We got to continue to get better so we can show it out on the court when we get an opportunity to do it.
And what did you guys learn in that loss to the Spurs 10 days ago that really helped you get a win here tonight?
We didn't play hard. We didn't follow our principles, and when they started to make shots, we just threw all our principles out the window, and that's when they started to drill us for threes, a lot of threes. So we said no matter what, we're going to do our principles tonight. If they hit a few, let's continue to stay in the grind, and we did that tonight and just warmed down.
More numbers. It was the Heat Big Three doing an 80-30 split with their team. They'd score 80 and the rest of the Heat 30 points, plus that 80 matches the Spurs total in this game. So, man, they came out, had a purpose, and played that way against the Spurs. Talk about exacting revenge. Gave them something to think about. Brent, I know you were impressed with Wade tonight. We saw him flying all over the floor. He was a guy that really was their energizer.
Yeah, I think Dwayne Wade tonight really set the tone for this Miami team. He just seemed to be in attack mode from the time the jump ball went off, and he did a little bit of everything. You know, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. He had 9 rebounds. We showed those incredible blocks he had. He was out in the break. He had 4 assists. Just really active all over the court and engaged. And I think sometimes when you have a point guard or one of your lead guards take that kind of mentality into a big game like that, it rubs off on someone else. And I think tonight it rubbed off directly on Chris Bosh. So the two of them together combining for their offensive production really put the Spurs in a bad way. And they seem to be attacking well on that pick and roll. They actually ran a lot of pick and rolls between Wade and LeBron James, which I think is a great set for Eric Spoelstra to go to. But Dwayne Wade set the tone to try and get back at San Antonio, and they did that tonight.